All right, guys, let's get started here. Um, Winston and Jim, you guys get gold stars for the coaching students. The rest of them, I'm gonna have to say something to you. Uh, but nice job showing up. So, um, let's go over some stuff here. So, first thing, um, yeah, you guys get the pass this week. Okay, so starting with the indexes. Looking at SPY, everything looks fine. Um, like so if we do a little historical analysis, right? And we look at okay, back in here we had periods of time right here, right here, right here, right here, where we held the 21 EMA over and over and over again, never had a close below, and had plenty of times to test it. And then you can see here when we broke that finally, and then we got that yellow candle, and then we eventually got red, and then had this sell off. Um, this was the sign that something has changed because we have an indication from the past bounce, 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 bounce off the weekly 21. Okay, this can be applied to any time frame. If I go to the daily and I go back in time and I go back to this period after 2021 where we had um, one or here one, two, I think it was seven. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8 times where we bounced off the 50, and then you can count that as nine. And then we finally broke it. That's something that changed about this chart. You can see we had a little more of a dramatic sell-off than we did here. Okay. So then we bounced again, held it again, and then when we broke the next time, we really started to trend lower. Okay. So you can see how this moving average, whatever moving average it is, it's going to play a more significant role. And the more times it's held, the more important it's going to be moving into the next period. So going in here, so here's another example, right? And this comes from repetition of studying the charts and understanding like I go through and study each year of SPY. Um, and put it in the model books that I build that I've showed you guys before, or at least coaching students. So you can see here, same thing. We pull this up. We've got bounce here, bounce, 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 bounce. And then look, when we broke, look at what happened. We had this decline, right? Where you wouldn't have wanted to be long anything. Okay. So this is the period I think we're in right now. All right, so we've had a few bounces off the 21 EMA. I think we may have one or two more. Okay, better put it this way. It could stop at any point. That's what I'm seeing. So, and I'm not going to be the guy that try to call the top of the market, but and I think we're in an early stage bull market, something like where we had a major decline. Obviously, nothing what we just went through was that crazy, but this is more along the lines. This was a much bigger decline. So 35%, 36%. If we go in and look at this decline we had here, this was 22%, so about two-thirds of what it was. But the point is that we're in the early stages of the recovery, and when we go back and we look at this, the line in the sand is just going to be simply when you look at the charts, what has it been before? We've got one, two, three, four, 5 times where we have not been able to close below the 21 EMA. Even this time, we reclaimed it. Okay. Then here we bounced again. So I'm not looking to get any sort of thinking things have changed until we break that 21 EMA. And as long as the candles stay green, dips should be bought. Dips should be bought. Okay. Like you can see here, we went from green, we made a new all-time high, we went to yellow, then we went, so this is a caution, hey, start to peel off some longs, and then it went red. And then there you go, we sold off and had this bear market sell-off. Then look at, we had a shift from red to yellow to green, and then we've been trending nicely ever since. We've had a few yellows, but we've always recovered that and have been good spots to get long. So we went from yellow to green here, yellow to green here, yellow to green there, yellow, and yeah, that's it. So just you got to pay attention to these points of we're in green mode all the way through, and then we go to yellow, and then we get the sell off, and when it turns red, okay, then we go to yellow, it recovers, and it's all good, right? Like it's just like a
Tell them, tell them about your rule, BR. Your two closes below the 21 too. It's like a
Yeah, yeah. So that kind of plays more into it depends on the market conditions. Like in this case, this is going to be very important because we've seen a bounce here, a bounce here, a bounce here, a bounce here off the 21 EMA over and over and over again. So those are the ones that this is when I'm really going to pay attention to this. The first close is even going to be very important in this. That's a good caution to um, begin to be cautious, right? But my main thing is I'm paying attention to this. If we get yellow, okay, then I'm going to start to feel like, okay, warning signs, slow down, like yield. It's real green, yellow, red, right? And then when it goes red, I have no reason to be long. And that's how I'm going to play it. I should be looking for short opportunities. So long-winded answer of saying let's just go with the trend until it breaks. And when we get a close below the 21, that's your first cautionary tale on SPY. Okay. And that's really all that be said on that. Like QQQ, I don't need to go over. It's the same thing. Um, and yeah, so everything looks good here. And yeah, so definitely pay attention to the closes below the 21 EMA, like he was saying. Let's see. So now if you guys have charts you want me to take a look at, post those in the chat, and I'm going to go over my watch list. Um, okay. So first one is hymns. So this one had and showed really great relative strength between Thursday and Friday. Like if we go look at SPY on Thursday and Friday, SPY had a red day and was down 0.5%. And then we had a green day, but it stayed green, or HIMS had a significantly green day, like a 6.5%, right? It was one of the leaders on Friday. So this one has a weekly squeeze and a weekly buy signal. So with that being said, we had an inside candle here and this one looks great, right? So we break out. I'm looking for like we break this 58, 59-ish, 60. I'd be looking for this to break out into new highs. We've got this huge pattern building, and yeah, this is one of my favorite ones. It's a high ADR name. Um, it's got great earnings and revenue. You can see here the trailing 12 month up 88%. So that's a big deal. And so this chart is probably this top priority next week for a longer swing trade. If we want to go continue with the theme of like things I'm watching on the weekly chart, Netflix looks amazing here. Inside week, buy signal, chart is getting really, really tight, holding the 21 EMA and looks awesome here. So if we go to the daily chart, it looks sloppy, but we're just trading within this tight range. If we break out here, I'd be looking for, okay, this might be a higher low here. So basically, if we break um, this area, this resistance right here, I'm looking for Netflix to rally into its new all-time highs. So this one looks really, really good. Keeping a close eye on this one. And I think that's really, as for the weekly charts, that's the only one I'm paying attention to. I'm looking down here because this is where I've got it written down. Um, yeah, so that's it for weekly charts. Well, one more I'll give you, but this is a slow mover, so like this would be like something you put in your longer term portfolio. Same idea. So Netflix, I'd be trading NFXL. This one, I'd be trading. You just have to trade the shares. Similar thing here, as it looks very similar to Netflix, and they're in the same sector. So building higher lows, we've got the green trend bars, we're getting tight. We had an inside candle. Breakout above 740. This thing looks awesome. Um, so keep an eye on this one. This looks great as well. Uh, okay. I'm seeing your guys' requests. I'll get to those. Some of them I already am covering, I believe. Uh, NVIDIA. Okay, so NVIDIA looks great here. So we're holding the 21 EMA, right? We had this weekly squeeze that fired off, breakout to the upside. Um, Great looking chart. Weekly is continuing to build higher lows. We go to the daily chart. We've got a daily buy signal, and we are holding the 8 and 21. Price is getting really tight. So yeah, this one, I mean, obviously you guys know the story. This has awesome earnings. So this one looks awesome. Yeah. So this is also top priority. This and HIMS are top priority next week. Um, and yeah, I just really like this chart. And I mean, this is the number one holding in the S&P 500. So, and the Nasdaq. So if we're gonna move, we got to have some NVIDIA behind it, right? So that's kind of the thinking behind it. So that's my primary watch list. I've got snow on here as well. And this has a leveraged ETF, so I will be trading that one through that. So this one, price is getting tight. We're building this flag after this gap up. Um, and we're building our first set, kind of higher lows, and we're shifting from red to green. Chart looks really good, guys. And so I'm looking for, can we break out to the upside next week? And if you zoom out, we've got this huge stage one base that now we're consolidating, and look at how tight these weekly candles are. We have this big gap up, and now we've been trading really, really tight inside week last week. This one could get going and have a really nice move to the upside next week. So I'm keeping a close eye on this one. Really like the price action here. So it had the leverage ETF, so SNOU is what I'd be trading. Um, and some of you guys are probably wondering why I wouldn't just trade options on this. I want to be able to hold this thing. Like if I have conviction in a trade, I want to be able to hold it as long as I can. And the ADR is low, so I got to put up a decent amount of cash to be able to trade this. But if I trade the leverage ETF, I can hold it as long as I want. I know the daily reset, blah, 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 but this is the closest thing I can get to it without having to deal with theta, implied volatility, all these things. And it has a 5.3 ADR, which is great. And like if I trade an FXL, it's good enough to the point where it's trading 4.3, which is good enough for me. Anything I like to see above four. Um, and then HIMS obviously is a fast mover. Another one that might be breaking out of a stage one base is Roku. So this one, you zoom out, we've got the $100 price level we're trading at. And notice this is the first time we're holding above this weekly 200. Whenever I see stocks that are like the China trade from earlier this year, that was one of our best trades this year, KWeb. And the yen trade, a lot of it always starts the same. Go study the best stocks of the past and just take a look at what they did in their stage one bases. They build higher lows, okay? Don't take my word for it. Go study it. You go look here, Roku is doing the same thing. They build higher lows out of the base and then they finally break out, okay? So this is starting to be at the beginning of a stage one base. So base breakout moving into stage two. So this one looks good. It's got daily buy signals. Got that psych level of 100, and as long as we get above that, I think we're going to see a really nice move in this name. Um, this doesn't have a leveraged ETF, so you would kind of just trade it, and it's a 3.5, which is fine. It's not bad at all. I mean, it's not great, but it's fine. Okay, so let me start going over the stocks you guys want me to look at. So those are the main ones, and then Roblox has some buy signals, but I don't think it's ready yet. I'd like it to tighten up, consolidate a little bit more. All right, you guys got some here. Okay. So Zeta. Oops, I'm typing that in the chat. Zeta. Okay, so this one I was looking at a few weeks ago, actually. This one looks good. Good revenue. This, I believe, has monthly something. Yeah, this one looks good. There's just nothing. Let's see. The setup for me was back in here and then back in here. So I think it just needs to set up. I think it needs to consolidate sideways for a little bit longer for a few days, and it might be ready later this week, is what I would say on that one. ASTS. So just give it some time. This one looks good. This is one of the leaders in the aerospace uh, sector. We broke out of this huge base. Um, I would just say like the volatility is really high on this. So give it a little bit of time to chill out and set up. Like more than likely what's going to happen is something like this where it trades sideways for a little bit, holds a 21, holds a 9, and then breaks out because it's broken this downtrend here. So this might be time for it. So it's had this nice breakout on volume. Let the sellers dry up a little bit, let it trade sideways and get quiet for a minute after this big move, and then it looks good. And then also keep an eye on obviously like Rocket Lab is the leader in this group. Keep an eye on that one. Keep an eye on RCAT. Keep an eye on all those names, and just focus on okay, are all of these names breaking out, or am I just sitting, or is this the only one? But if it's one of those first to break out, you're definitely going to want to be on that. But it needs some time to quiet down. PNW. So this is in that kind of IT software type deal. So this would be running along the same lines as my snow idea. This has weekly buy signals on it. We had a massive shakeout here, and then got bought right back up. So that's a pretty bullish sign. So like we break out above this 210-ish level. You should see a really nice move in this one. This one is just really choppy for me, so I'm gonna try and avoid it and then look for the next time it sets up out of this massive base. Because right now it's just not super clean. Um, Roblox, yeah, this was one. Same thing. I just think it needs to tighten up a bit. I've got a daily buy on it. It looks good. It's just it needs to tighten up a little bit, is how I would look at it. Like maybe a couple more sideways days, and then I would like to trade it. I do have it on my watch list. This is one of main ones I'm watching this week. IWM, yeah, IWM is rocking and rolling. The main trade on this one, so it's got the daily buy. I'd like to see it tighten up a little bit. So like we go the weekly. So or sorry, it's the monthly. So the monthly, we had monthly buy signals right in through here at 215, made new all-time highs. And that's we were talking about it back in here. And this is where I was talking about, hey, last time we had buy signals in here on the monthly, it gave us a new all-time high move. Same thing here. So daily chart looks good. Um, it's kind of leading a bit now. It's kind of taking the front seat. Like there's more risk on assets that are seeing more buying. So, and that's obviously the IWM because it's the smaller cap companies, not those large cap. So, what would I do with this information? I'd be looking to trade small cap stocks that are ready to move, relative strength leaders, rather than trading the IWM itself. I'd look for the outperformers. Um, so that's how I would go about trading this. D-Dog, I was looking at this one as well. Kind of the same lines as software. This one looks good. I think you break out above 140. I think this could have really nice move. It's been building higher lows for a while. It's just you're in it for the long game if you're trading this one. It's got monthly buys, and yeah, it's got monthly buys, and chart looks really good. I like this one. I think you would look to take it above 140, and um, I wouldn't be looking for just a move to 150. I'd be looking for a move that is much greater than that. So it's got the revenue, it's got the earnings. The earnings just flipped positive, which is or let me see, the trailing 12 months just flipped positive. So this looks really good, or it's a stock that could make a move. So this looks good. Yeah, so that's a good way to trade it. Yep. Yeah, so you can take it off at a risk multiple and then trail the rest off of moving average. This is a slower stock, so I would trade it based on like uh, a 50 or a 21 EMA. Because this is where it comes back to the conviction conversation we had last week on the weekly watch list call. Like when you're trailing something, if it's got the earnings, it's got the revenue, it's got things going for it, and it's in a good group, and then if it's a slow, so then you have the conviction to hold it, right? Then you weigh two stocks that both have that. Like Hims also has that, so does D-Dog. Okay, when we're looking at this, um, the conviction. So now it comes down to, okay, I want to trail it and give it some room, but now I'm saying, okay, how should I trail it because this is a slower stock? In the case of Hims, I would be looking at trailing it off like a 9 EMA because it's a faster moving stock. That like Hims has an ADR of almost 6. Okay. And then you've got D-Dog, which is moving at a 2.7. So a way to personally, I would trade probably, I need to see the liquidity to see if it's even okay to trade. DOGD, which is the leverage ETF of this, because I have this one on my watch list as well. Um, and so yeah, I'd be looking to trade that in that way. So you look for the break there, stop on the breakout, and you should be up 3R by the time it gets to 145-ish. Easy. Roku, I went over. That one looks good. SMCI, and I went over NVIDIA already. Hmm. It's got monthly buys. Um, I don't know. There's not too much to do here, honestly. Uh, I don't know. I don't really see that great of a setup here. Yeah, I'd probably just skip this one. Trade a better semiconductor. Microsoft. Yeah, I was looking at this one as well. This one looks great. I don't think I'm gonna trade it just because I see a lot of other things that I'd like to trade, but this one looks good. I think it's a good spot to buy like long-term shares. Personally, I think that's what I'll be doing. It's just adding a shares position here, um, and just hold it for longer period of time because we got that monthly chart that's set up. So that one looks good. WGS. So, okay, so this is a good one to talk about. So this one, it had a buy signal here, right? And it never triggered the breakout. I was looking for a breakout above the resistance at 132, and it never got that. It rejected really hard before it got there, and that's partly because of the market pulling back. So in this case, I would kind of just be um, right now, nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it right now. But as for why I didn't take it last week, I think it's helpful to mention, okay, so I was looking for the breakout here, um, and it never got it. It never got that breakout, so that's why I didn't take it, and it had a huge rejection. So, and a big reason, like I could have taken it above like the 130 resistance on this day here, but I didn't take it because it wasn't showing much strength in comparison to SPY, and I felt like SPY was going to pull back, so I decided to sit out from that trade and wait until SPY pulled back, which it did. BITX. Let's look at Bitcoin because that's more of a the way to look at it. Yeah, so this one is bouncing back. Um, Maybe it will set up again. So I'd probably give it a week and then look for it to set back up. Yeah, I think it's going to trade sideways for a little longer, but it could set back up, and we'll keep this on the watch list for um, later on. But yeah, I think Bitcoin looks good. It's just I think we had a shakeout here, um, and yeah, I tried to buy it on the breakout here, and I closed it right about where it closed here, and I'm glad I did because I would have been stopped out. But I think we're just getting a shakeout here, and I think that it might reset and be able to give us a buy point again. Amazon. It's at the weekly 21. It's a good stock. It's, just no setup currently on it for me. It's showing relative weakness. I'd wait for it to reclaim the 21 EMA, and then that could be a setup. Would I trade TNA instead of IWM? So IWM is setting up and showing relative strength to SPY. So what I'd be doing is I'd be looking for small cap, mid cap stocks that are setting up and showing relative strength. That's how I would do that. So I wouldn't trade IWM. I would trade things that would benefit from IWM showing strength. So basically, more speculative things will probably perform better, especially when we're looking at Bitcoin bouncing back. You usually want to look at Bitcoin and IWM to tell you if speculative money is showing up, and that's what's going on. So we're seeing a bounce back in Bitcoin. We're seeing a bounce back, or we're seeing IWM show some relative strength. So that tells us that. Um, I answered that question about D-Dog. SMCI had monthly in green, red to yellow to green, which spiked your interest. Yeah, so SMCI, yeah, the monthly chart looks good. I would just keep it's a laggard, but going back to the same discussion, it's building higher lows inside of a weekly base. So yeah, absolutely. It's still got good revenue. It's falling, right? Versus here it was increasing, it's falling, but at the same time it's getting really quiet here and it's just tightening up. I think in the next, as long as the market stays good, this could be a new leader later on if it can break out of the stage one. So yeah, just this could be a good starting point of a low risk entry. Like look for it to break out above like the 45 area, stops below the 200, and look for this thing to go to 60 and just try to stay in it for a stage one base because in theory, you should have gotten it near a higher low, which if it continues to build out, it should never touch your stop, right? So you've got a tight risk that could be a 20-50 R trade. XRP had a good trade in this one back here. It's just going to follow whatever Bitcoin does. So, and it moves a little bit quicker than Bitcoin. So, I'm gonna wait for another one of these to set up. So we had buy signals back in here. This is where we traded it, and we caught a huge move to the upside. Uh, Similar thing here. We had buy signals and then had this massive move up. And I think just wait for it to set up with more buys and then take the breakout. So that's all that I'm looking at. Okay, so um, I think I've answered all your guys' questions. Any other questions or things you want me to go over, stocks you want me to go over? Like I said, HIMS is one of the main things I'm paying attention to this week. NVIDIA, Snow, NVIDIA, and let's see, daily chart on Snow and NVIDIA, same thing. And actually, Tan looks good as well, but I won't trade it. This looks great. Could have a huge move here coming up. Not a huge move, but I mean 45, um, 46. It's just really slow mover. But yeah, any other questions? I think I covered them all. Yeah, so MSFU, yes, that's a leverage ETF one. It's like even as a leverage ETF, it moves 2.7%. It moves super slow. Versus like a leverage ETF for NVDX, so for NVIDIA, moves almost 5% ADR. So that's why. That's why I'm kind of just I'll rather trade NVIDIA than um, Microsoft. So, all right, guys. Thank you guys for joining. Message me in the chat if you have any questions, and I will talk to you guys soon.
Thanks, my man.
Yes, sir.